Hello, next team video. Today we're going to take a look at the final time here for the Open Master League, as we're going to get the Great League back tomorrow, basically. So we have a team here with the Hisuian Avalugg. I cannot try out Hisuian Avalugg. I completely maxed it out to level 50 here. We have our Mewtwo as well in the lead. I played this team for basically 2 days straight. Had actually great success. I had I think in total there was a 9-game win streak or something in between, which was kind of cool. I just picked some sets in between my battles. I just put some in there. Don't know really how they went here, but yeah, I had in general pretty solid success with it. It was a little bit tricky to play in the beginning, but after 1-2 sets, I was pretty fine with it. Was having actually pretty decent results. Would I recommend you to build one for the Master League? Probably not, though. The thing is, the typing itself is pretty horrible. I actually thought it would be a pretty decent typing, but then you can consider again the meta. Basically, everybody is playing Zacian plus Dialga. Zacian having access to the move Close Combat, Dialga having access to the move Iron Head, so you don't really have a lot of fun with those. We see a Giratina swapping in against us. We can go for one charge move with the Side Strike, going to get them pretty low. We have to go for the Blizzard though, I think. We're actually going to go for the Rock Slide. I guess we're going to try to Blizzard the Mamoswine. Let's see what we can do here. We can go for the Rock Slide against the Shadow Ball now. Rock Slide coming through. We will see that this doesn't knock them out, but we can farm them all the way down. And we have a Blizzard stored. We're going to go straight for it. Let's see if this is enough to one-shot this Mamoswine already. And it will be enough to one-shot the Mamoswine. Good game there. Next opponent coming up. The Dialga lead is most likely the most tricky Pokemon to face here. If I had it, I most likely would have run something like Excadrill lead instead of Mewtwo. Excadrill lead seems to be very solid because there are so many Dialgas around right now. It's wild. We will see here that they're going to go to a Zacian, which is just going to go down immediately from our Mewtwo, which is fine for me. We will see most likely the Dialga coming back in here, as they will have a decent-ish matchup. I can let this move go through if I want, and I do let this move go through, which is good. And I can go ahead and go to my Zacian. Zacian should at least win this matchup all the time. I can invest some shields here, but I will be able to win this matchup in general here because I outspeed them. And they're already in range for close combat at this point of time, or I can farm them down afterwards, so I should be pretty okay. Yeah, we can kind of farm them down there, but we will see Landorus coming in, which of course is very good for my Avalugg here. Being able to go for one Rock Slide, going to be able to get the shield, can shield this move up. They're kind of forced to go for the superpower soon, as this will get lower and lower. I can still get to another Rock Slide, and we will be able to outspam them here, basically. We're going to get them super low already, and I think we're going to get them already low enough that they would get maybe even farmed down by our Zacian. They're going to go for another charge move here, which I think should be a superpower, which doesn't do a lot of damage. They swap out into Dialga. We can now go for one player off, and we will be able to win this game. Zacian, of course, if you don't have one, it's definitely worth it to build one right now. It's definitely the best Pokemon. Next to Dialga, I guess Dialga and Zacian are kind of on par, to be fair, for the Master League. We see another Zacian in the lead here, which has access to a Wild Charge, it seems like. Otherwise, they wouldn't go for the move straight away. We see a Dialga coming in. I should play this matchup a little bit more different, I think, towards what I do here right now. I'm gonna go for the Play Rough. Why do I go for the Play Rough here? Because you can actually take one Iron Head with your Zacian, which allows you to at least get a shield advantage or some kind of advantage in this matchup. I should not went straight for the close combat here, I think, because, okay, they're gonna let this move go through, but still not ideal, as they can farm me down with the Ho-Oh. We have our Avalugg for this scenario, though. Avalugg will have a decent time against Ho-Oh. I'm still going to shield up the Sacred Fire, which will hurt me a lot. We have some lag there, as we see the Zacian coming in. I had actually some crazy lag recently. I don't know how it is for you. It feels like your battle league goes back to where it was before, sadly. Pretty laggy, pretty very bad, but we will see the Ho coming in. They will win this match here if they don't shield, if they don't shield this move exactly, because Rock Slide would need too long, but they're actually going to shield here, which is so funny, because if they didn't do this, I think they would have won this. They could just go for Sacred Fire. I think they would have been able to knock me out eventually, but like this, there was nothing they can do anymore because they shielded the Side Strike for whatever reason. Next up, we're going to see Zacian coming in here against us. Zacian in the lead is pretty fine. We're going to see a Dialga swapping in. I kind of want to pretend that I have Focus Blast. It's kind of awkward because I think people that know my content at least know that I run double Legacy on my Mewtwo, but at least this person, I guess, is not someone who watches my videos, which is good, I guess, for us, because we will be able to having a better time here. We will see the Iron Head coming through. I actually see another Iron Head coming through, which I didn't expect, which is pretty awkward here, as we will go for our close combat. It was CMP type. And we will see that we can farm them at least down here. We're going to get to another player off, which is nice against the opponent's Zacian. We see some lag coming in here again. And I couldn't throw my charge move. I want to throw my charge move immediately. Didn't work out. good game there. My only way of still having a chance at least of winning this is if they don't run Focus Blast here, so I cannot really allow a shield to go through. We will see that 2 Dark Bolts coming through. I can go for 1 Rock Slide now. I have 2 Rock Slides stored now. But this is kind of horrible because I was not supposed to have the scenario. I would have already got the player off against them, but like the game just lagged. Cool there. We see that the Zacian is coming back in. I can still get to 1 Rock Slide, which hopefully puts them in range for 1 Psycho, what's it called? No, Side Strike. For 1 Side Strike, it should actually put them in range of that. We will see. Side Strike coming through. Side Strike going to knock them out, and we're still going to be able to win this game, but the lag was really annoying there. Next opponent, we will face off against Gyarados. This is actually okayish as a matchup. We can go ahead and go for 7 fast moves in total. We can throw after 5, of course, but we can go for 7 in total and try to catch the Crunch from them, which works out really well because Crunch is resisted on our Zacian. It's actually an Awkward Tail, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. We will get out the Metagross, which is also cool for us because we have 2 moves stored now. They go for the charge move in time. Fine for me, literally doesn't matter to me because I can go into my Mewtwo again and we have no Shadow Ball available against them, so we can knock them out and we can align our Pokemon perfectly because we didn't want to have this one against our Avalugg in the back. But sadly, we're going to face off against 2 water types here against with my Avalugg, which is not really ideal. I sure went straight for the Rock Side there. Wolf got this off most likely in time. We're going to see the Awkward Tail coming through. I'm going to go for it now, which is not ideal either, as they're going to shield this move up. I should shield this move up as well. Awkward Tail coming through. I should get to the Rock Slide in time, but actually they're gonna get to their move in time as well. It's kind of awkward. Awkward Tail coming through. We're going to be able to do that, and now I make a mistake, I think. I should have just stayed in here and tried to farm them down, but I'm gonna go into my Mewtwo trying to get to the charge move, and I just die on the charge move, which allows the opponent to get to another move here. If I stayed in, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to at least either win this game or I had a chance there, but I misplayed this a little bit, which is fine. Next opponent, Zacian need Dialga Stay Swap, what we see a lot of times. Should actually just farm up a ton of energy and don't throw a charge move and then go into my Zacian, I feel like. But now I can go for 1 Side Strike, trying to get the shield here from them. I get the shield at least. And I can go ahead and go for my Zacian now at least. Okay, we put them into range for 1 close combat, which is decent. I can take 1 move pretty easily here as well. Iron Head coming through doesn't do too much damage. We can go for another close combat here. Close combat doing a ton of damage, going to knock them straight out. And I can still get to 1 player up if the game doesn't lag at least. Yeah, it doesn't lag this time around against the opponent's Zacian, which allows me to do a lot of damage against them, which is nice. As we can go back into our Mewtwo, they catch the move on the Yveltal, and I cannot swap out yet, but now I can swap out. We see them going for some charge moves. I can go for my charge move now as well. They have to shield this move up, otherwise I don't think there's a chance for them to win this. Let's see if they have Focus Blast here. We will find out shortly. It's going to be a Dark Pulse, which means I can get to the next Rock Slide in time, knocking them out in time. This means the opponent Zacian has to go for 1 close combat to knock me out, and I think I have a move start on my Mewtwo, so I should be pretty good here. As this Rock Slide comes through, I just have to stay in here and see what they want to do. Because if they go for Play Rough, which is their only way there, there's no way anyway. Yeah, we'll be able to win this game easy now after this Rock Slide hitting them as well, so very good game there. Avalugg actually looks pretty decent so far. Next one, we will see Mewtwo against Ho-Oh. Again, Avalugg would be very good, but Mewtwo is actually pretty fine against Ho-Oh as well. You just have to know when you have to time your moves. Here we see some lag. I only get a great because of this. Lag is so annoying there. I have this a ton of times while doing charge moves right now. It's so annoying. We will see that we're gonna get debuffed, which is really horrible because they could let this move go through if they wanted to, but they don't, which is good for me because now the debuff doesn't really matter too much. And at this point, I think I would be able to outspeed them, so they're going to swap out into their Dialga. We can basically try... It's actually an awkward scenario. I hope that they throw. I'm gonna go actually for the Play Rough here to get some guaranteed damage at least. And I will be able to take 1 Iron Head still. Going to go straight for it. I can go for my close combat now and I can knock them out, which is, I guess, the best way to play this game here at this point of time. It's going to be so rough one to win. As we face off against the Ho-Oh, which can farm us down, we can go ahead and go into our Avalugg. Avalugg going to have a pretty okayish time here as we face off against the Zacian. I should have thrown my Rock Slide at this point already. This was, I think, a mistake because I think at this point of time we lost the game. If they overfarm enough that they can go for 2 moves here with their Zacian, I lost this game for sure. Don't know if this is already at 2 moves though. I should go straight for my Rock Slide here. I overfarm for whatever reason for 1 turn. I don't know why, but I still going to be able to go for the Rock Slide, which knocks them out. And we will face the Ho-Oh now, which can go for one move here, which is going to be a Sacred Fire, but it does not even come close to knocking us out, and we can knock them out with our Rock Slide here. Avalugg seems to be a very cool closer so far, like honestly, very decent one there. Next opponent, we will face off with Mewtwo against a Mamoswine. Fine for us. This is actually an awkward scenario. Mamoswine is really decent against Mewtwo, which is funny, because I think it's a little bit bulkier than Mewtwo, and Avalanche still does hurt a lot, and Powder Snow does more damage compared to the Psycho Cut. We will be able to always outspeed them. My opponent knows that and catches on the Metagross. Actually okay with that, because I don't have to face Metagross with my Zacian, and I always need some extra damage anyway if I want to hit this with a Shadow Ball, otherwise like it doesn't work. We're going to see that they shield this move up, which is very good for me, because I can still get to another Shadow Ball before they get to their next move, like before they even throw a move. And they're going to go into a Reshiram, which allows me to go into my Avalugg now. Avalugg has access to Rock Slide. I can take one Fusion Flare here. They're actually going to go for Crunch anyway, and we see the Mamoswine coming in, which going to have to take one Close Comment from me. I'm not going to shield anything here. I'm going to rely on my Avalugg later on. Is this Close Combat? Never mind, actually I have to shield here now. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but I think I'm still okay. Can overfarm now a lot. I can have 2 close combats. The opponent has to throw the charge move against me anyway with the Reshiram, because Reshiram has Dragon Breath as a fast move, and this doesn't really work so much. As I can go for 2 close combats now, still close combat coming through, gonna do enough damage to 2-shot them anyway, and this is going to be a good game again. Next opponent, let's see what's going to happen in the next game. We will find out after the battle starting. Screen takes, I guess, 10 years here. Ah, there we go. Mewtwo against Dialga. I actually don't know how often I faced Dialga in the lead. Definitely, if you have an X-Control build for the Master League already, try to use it in the lead. If you just currently want to have a good team for it, like it's definitely worth it to use it in the lead. We will be able to go ahead and go for one Side Strike against the opponent. I actually think, by the way, that Master League is one of the coolest metas to play in. Sadly, it's just super expensive, but I think the meta itself is pretty healthy. You have 2 Pokemon that are very, very strong, but you also have some Pokemon that can counter them pretty easily. Or some unique Pokemon. Like, for example, Giratina Altered is so underrated. What is also underrated is no shielding this Draco Meteor from the opponent, but we don't talk about this one here. We face a Ho-Oh and we have to go into the Avalugg, and at this point of time, I'm pretty sure this game is over, because while they're staying in here, I'm pretty sure they just want to get my final shield, and we will find out shortly, as we're going to be able to shield up the opponent's move, going to be a Sacred Fire, and it's going to be a Zacian. We got an attack drop as well. We can go for one Blizzard, but with the attack drop, this does maybe 50%, I would guess. Yeah, around 50%, otherwise would do like around 75%. I'm just going to forfeit there. There was no way I could have won this game anyway. Next opponent, we will face up against another Dialga. Again, if you have an extra roll in the lead, I think this is currently the best lead that you can have. Nearly every Pokemon I faced so far would lose against extra roll in the lead. So definitely something that you can try out. We're going to go straight for Shadow Ball this time around. I always play a little bit differently compared, like, in general against Dialgas. I can go for one Side Strike here. Gonna get the shield with a Side Strike at least, and I can get to another one, but they're going to swap into their own Mewtwo. I make a mistake here by not staying in. I should have been able, most likely, to get to another move here with my Mewtwo, but I was like, maybe not, but yeah, we will be able to go into our Avalugg at least, and we can go for one Blizzard. I don't think a Rock Slide will have knocked them out at this range. So Blizzard it is. Blizzard is going to knock out the opponent's Mewtwo as well. And we will face most likely... No, actually, we're going to face a Giratina coming in here. I have to go for one Rock Slide. Rock Slide going to do some damage, but not enough damage. We're going to get the shield, actually. That's wild. It actually really helps us out a lot. We can take the shield still here. Omnius Wind can knock us out if they want to. We have our Snarl version of Zacian here against them. And we will be able to go ahead and let this move go through. Shadow Ball coming through here. We see the opponent catching the move on the Dialga, which is fine for me. The Dialga had a move slot already, so... at this point of time, I just have to reach into another player up, which I should be able to do here, as yeah, I will be able to win this game there. Them swapping into the Dialga at this point didn't make any sense at all. Like, they had to swap like one turn earlier to get their move off. Like this, they literally caught the move, but it didn't really help them. So yeah, we will face off against a Dialga again in the lead. What a surprise. I think that's like the 3rd or 4th time in the row now. Very, very cool. Very, very creative teams here around in the Master League. We see the Side Strike getting the shield this time around, which is cool. Going to shield up as well, which I didn't really have to be fair. Maybe next time I let this move go through if I already get a shield. But Side Strike still going to hurt them a lot here. Side Strike coming through. Gonna get another shield, and this allows me to go now into my Zacian. maybe not the right play. This is a very risky play. If they swap out now, I'm going to be screwed. And I am going to go for the close combat here to just knock them out. Please go away, Dialga. And the Dialga goes away. We will face another Zacian against us. We have a moveset on our Mewtwo, so it's going to be okay for us. Play rough coming through here right now, as we're going to get them to a range where I can just go for one side strike to knock them out. They're going to go for one play rough as well. It doesn't knock us out either. We can see the Landorus coming in, so we can go ahead and go for one close combat. I'm actually going to go into my Mewtwo here and overfarm a little bit. I can go for 3 turns here, 1, 2, 3, and we can hopefully knock them out with a side strike. Landorus is very squishy, and Mewtwo going to sweep this endgame here as well. So this is going to be it for the final video for the Master League. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and I see you tomorrow for some Great League content.